How's it going, databases? No Data here, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Roblox Murder Mystery 2. We're back once again on the Halloween event. We have done quite a few things in this Halloween event. We went through the entire battle pass. We did a huge unboxing, so be sure to check out those videos if you haven't done so. But today on Murder Mystery 2, we are going to take a look at the final part of this event, and it's actually a completely new concept. This has never been in Murder Mystery 2 before, and I haven't really seen it in many knife games in general, to be honest with you. So in this event, we have a brand new gimmick called Knife Evolution. This is a brand new thing that you can do in this event, and this basically replaces the purchasable godly. So with most events, we have a purchasable godly that you can buy for about this much Robux, more or less. But in this event, it's actually a little bit different. So we can actually go ahead and click info, and it'll talk about it a bit more. My prized Evo knife. This knife starts as a rare knife and evolves as you use it. To evolve it, you must have it equipped for a full round. All XP gained that round will go toward the Evo as well. Evos will be evolvable even after the event ends. They are also not tradable and will never be obtainable again. It will take many hours to become an ancient. Please read carefully before buying. So basically, instead of having a purchasable godly, we have basically a line of knives right here. Now, when you go ahead and buy this knife, you're actually only going to get the rare. The rare is the only knife that you're going to have. So you're basically buying a rare. However, if you use this knife while you play Murder Mystery 2, you'll actually be able to basically gain XP with this knife and then evolve it into better knives. So once you get enough XP, this knife can evolve into a legendary and then a godly, and then eventually it can become a really cool ancient knife. And like they said, all of these knives are not tradable. However, once you evolve a knife, you will be able to evolve it backwards at any time. So you don't have to worry about missing out on one of these knives, because if you have the ancient and you feel like using the godly, then you can just de-evolve the knife and use the godly. So yeah, guys, in this video, we are going to go ahead and buy this rare knife, and we are going to go through all of the tiers until we eventually get this new ancient. Gonna have to do a bit of grinding off camera in order to do this, but that's totally fine. So yeah, if you guys are excited for this episode of Murder Mystery 2, then be sure to drop a like on this video. It helps out a whole lot. And if you're new, be sure to subscribe for more Murder Mystery 2 videos in the future. And also, guys, don't forget to use star code purple when buying Robux and Roblox Premium, because it really helps me out to continue making these videos for you guys. All right, let's go ahead and buy the Reaver EVO. This is going to be awesome. So let's go ahead and click get it now, and we're going to go ahead and purchase this knife. 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, there we go. Bada bing, bada boom. As you can see, I bought it. So do I have it? There we go. We got the Reaver rare. Take a look at that. We spent a bunch of Robux on a freaking rare. So let's go ahead and click claim, and let's go ahead and try out this knife. Where is it? It should be over here. And it should have its own separate icon, if I'm not mistaken. Do I have to reset to see it? I guess I do. All right, let me reset. Alrighty, and there it is. We have the Reaver EVO. So let's go ahead and equip it, and then bada bing, bada boom. As you can see, once you get enough XP, you'll be able to evolve your weapon into all these different types of weapons. We're just gonna go ahead and equip this for now, because that's the only one we can equip. But yeah, you can see it as a little separate Evo icon, which is really nice. So it specifies that this is an evolution knife. But I'm gonna head on over to assassin mode so we can try out this new rare knife in battle. All right, so here it is, guys, the Reaver rare knife that you can buy with Robux. And well, at the moment, there's really not much to write home about. You can see it's a pretty simplistic rare. It's kind of dark, you know, got some blue in here, got some cracks in the knife, which is pretty cool. We got a bit of a lighter blue on the side right here. There's some green within the cracks. So there's some green here. Looks pretty cool. Got a black handle. Again, there's really not much to say about it right now. But again, we'll be able to evolve this knife, and it will become a legendary, and then a godly, and then eventually it's going to be a really cool ancient. So I just gotta go ahead and stick with this knife. I have to use it in many different rounds, and eventually it will go ahead and gain some XP, even though right now there's not much to write home about. I don't even think I gain XP from this mode, so definitely gonna want to go back to classic. But right now, I kind of just wanted to show off the rare. Yeah, I don't get any XP out of that. That's a bit unfortunate. I think I get some XP if I win, but that's kind of hard to do given the physics. So yeah, once again, here's the knife right here. It's really not all that interesting, but I'm going to go ahead and hop over to classic mode, and I'm going to gain some XP to level up this knife, and I'm gonna go ahead and make it a legendary, and I will be back once this is a legendary knife. Alright guys, so I did a bit of grinding, and as you can see it, the Reaver is now a legendary, so it's actually always going to stay at the highest tier. So if I click on it, you actually can see that it is possible to basically de-evolve. You can backwards evolve the knife that you evolved. So you can use whatever versions you have unlocked, but I'm pretty sure in your inventory, it will always appear as a legendary, or it'll always appear at the highest tier you have. So right now it's a legendary. I can go ahead and use the rare version, but it'll always appear as a legendary in my inventory. That is pretty interesting. But anyway, here is the legendary Reaver right here. I'll go ahead and show it to you guys once again. All right guys, so here is the Reaver in its legendary form. Again, still not too much to write home about. It's still a pretty simplistic knife. It's mostly blue with some green in the middle. We got a nice dark purple handle right there. It looks kind of cool. It's really not all that different from the rare variants. We can go ahead and show the rare variant just to compare. Really, the only difference is the rare version is a lot more broken down. There's some more cracks in it. You can see that the legendary version of the knife is a bit fixed up. It's a bit more refined. So yeah, the legendary version is basically just a fixed up, improved version of the rare. Really not all that different. So still, again, not that much to write home about, but you can kind of see how the evolution concept works here. And once I get enough XP, I will be able to go ahead and evolve it into a godly. So pretty soon we'll be able to see the godly version, and that's going to be really, really hype. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go back to classic mode and grind a little bit, and I'm going to make this thing a godly. So I will be right back once this knife is a godly. All right guys, so I am back. It's been a couple days. It's pretty difficult to grind for this, not gonna lie. It's taken a couple days. Even with elite, it takes quite a while to get the godly out of it. But anyway, as you can see, I did evolve my Reaver into a godly, so there it is in its godly form. This is about how much XP it takes. It takes around 200,000 XP, and to make it an ancient, I'm gonna need around like 500,000. But yeah, here's the knife in its godly form. So, you know, it's actually a pretty cool knife now. It's not just a reskin of the basic knife. As you can see, it is a nice green and black sword. You can see that there is some green at the edge. You can also see there is some green right here. We have some green spikes. And then on this side of the knife, we have a bit of black. You can also see that there are some blue metal bars surrounding the knife. So they basically just wrap around the knife. You can also see that there is a green gem at the hilt of it. And then we have a nice little purple handle right here. So yeah, this is a pretty nice godly knife, and obviously it is really fitting with the harvester. In case you guys did not notice, the two ancients are going to go together really well. It's basically going to look like a set, because typically with events, there is like a set of a gun and a knife. So they changed it up this time around, and the purchasable ancient is actually going to fit with the ancient gun in the battle pass. Typically, it's the battle pass ancient and the box godly that go together as the set, and not the shop godly. But it seems to be different this time around. It's the shop godly that's going to be fitting with the battle pass ancient. So yeah, the godly knife and the ancient gun already looking pretty good together. However, once this thing becomes an ancient, it's going to look even more fitting with the ancient gun. But yeah, all in all, not too much else to say about it. This is a really cool godly. It's really fitting with the harvester. I really like the colors on it. This is a super cool godly. And yeah, I'm going to have to grind a lot more experience, but eventually this is going to become an ancient knife. I'll be able to go ahead and evolve this into an ancient. And the ancient so far, judging by the picture, it looks really cool. It seems to be a double-edged scythe, which is going to be really exciting. But even so, the godly is already a really cool knife, and the ancient's probably going to look even better. So yeah, there's the Reaver in its godly form. I'm going to go ahead and grind a bit more to evolve it into its final ancient form, and it's going to look really cool. So I will be back once this knife becomes an ancient. Alright guys, so I have finally done it after weeks of grinding. Not gonna lie, this literally took weeks to grind. But as you can see, I finally have the Reaver Ancient. There it is. This is the final form of the Reaver knife. So there it is right there. You can actually see all of the forms right here, so I can switch between them at any time, whenever I want. So we got the rare, we got the legendary, we got the godly, and we finally have the ancient Reaver. And as you can see in my inventory, you can see that it is indeed an ancient. So this knife is going to be absolutely insane. Let's go ahead and try this thing out in battle. I'm going to pick the hotel, and let's go ahead and try out the ancient form of it. All right, guys, so here it is, last but not least, the ancient Reaver. This is the final form of the Reaver knife. Again, this thing used to be a tiny little rare. It wasn't even all that interesting, but now it is an awesome ancient. So as you can see, this thing is a double-edged scythe, which is really cool. So I guess we had a scythe for the Halloween event after all. It just wasn't in the battle pass. But this time around, you can see it's literally a double-edged scythe. So here's the scythe right here. It looks really cool. The middle of it kind of looks like a face. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but you can kind of see that there are like eyes right here, and then this could maybe like be a mouth. But yeah, you can see it's just a really epic scythe. You can see that there is some green on the outside of it with some blue towards the middle. We got some blue on this edge as well as some spikes right here. And then we have a nice little pointy top right here. And the scythe portion of it is very sharp. As you can see, this part right here, that's going to be a very sharp scythe. We got the back side of it right here, which looks pretty interesting as well. And then here's the handle right here. And then obviously at the bottom of the handle, you can see there's just another scythe. You can see it's just completely flipped. So there's another scythe right here. We also have some green symbols on the scythe as well. I don't know if that means anything, but it looks really cool. Overall, I really like the colors of it. And again, it is literally a double-edged scythe, which is one of the coolest things ever. I mean, obviously we've had some Halloween scythes in the game before, but we've never had a double-edged scythe. And that's just a really cool thing, to be honest. So yeah, this is an incredibly awesome ancient, and as you can see, it goes really well with the harvester. These are the two knives that are supposed to go together. So, you know, we have the Reaver Ancient and the Harvester Ancient. You can see that they go together incredibly well. So this is really just a super cool knife. Now, in case you guys are wondering what this knife is going to be worth, unfortunately, the Reaver Evolution is not tradable. None of the parts of this are tradable whatsoever, so unfortunately, this ancient is not really going to have any value to it, because unfortunately, you can't really give a value to a knife that is not tradable. That's kind of just how it works. You know, if a knife is not tradable, you just can't give it a value because, you know, people aren't really trading it at all. That being said, this is still a super cool knife. So yeah, that's kind of how the evolution concept works. It should be noted that you can grind this knife at any time. It doesn't just have to be during the Halloween event. So once the Halloween event is over, you can still grind your evolution, which is really nice. So if you bought this knife, don't really worry about like a time-based issue, because you'll be able to grind for this thing at any time. Long after the event, you can still work toward the Golly or the Ancient or whatever you need to get. Don't worry, you'll still be able to get all the forms eventually. Given that you use the knife every now and then, you should be able to get some XP over time. So now overall, I'm just gonna kind of talk about the concept of an evolution, because I do have some opinions on it. So first of all, you know, this is a really cool concept. It is cool to basically like grind with a knife and level it up over time. However, I think most of us can agree at the end of the day, this is really just a shop godly with extra steps. You know what I mean? Like, you still spend Robux and you're still getting an ancient or a godly out of it. This time around, you're just grinding instead of just immediately getting the godly, which is cool because you get multiple forms. So that's really cool. You get multiple forms. You get a rare, a legendary, a godly, and an ancient. So in that sense, you're kind of getting 4 knives for the price of 1, which is certainly nothing to scoff at. That is quite a few knives. And again, it is both a godly and an ancient. So you are definitely getting a lot when you buy this, given that you grind it. However, I think my biggest complaint with the Reaver is that it's not tradable. You cannot trade this whatsoever. I don't know if it was because of a coding issue, like it would be impossible to save your experience. Maybe that's why the Reaver's not tradable. It's probably a code issue of some kind, but because it's not tradable, it kind of just devalues the knife a lot. Like I said, this is basically a shop godly with extra steps, but the thing is, a shop godly is actually tradable, and therefore the shop godly has value. So therefore, you would be getting a lot more value from buying a shop godly as opposed to an evolution knife. So yeah, basically you're spending a bunch of Robux for a knife that's never going to have value because it's not tradable. So it's never going to have value. And not to mention the fact that it's not tradable, that actually ruins the set. And that's going to be a big issue when it comes to trading. Well, not necessarily a big issue, but it's going to be a pretty major setback. So as you guys know, typically in murder mystery events, there will be a set. So basically there will be a knife and a gun that will go together really well. So for example, Elderwood Scythe and Elderwood Elderwood Revolver. This right here is an Elderwood set. We got the Hollow Scythe and the Hollow Gun to make a Hollow set. Ice Breaker and Ice Blaster make an Ice set. And these sets, when you put them together, they're actually worth more than their individual components. So an Elderwood Scythe and an Elderwood Revolver, these two together are worth more than what they would be separately. Which, you know, on paper that sounds obvious. You know, if you put two stuff together, it's obviously going to add up to be worth more. But typically, if you trade both of these together, you're just gonna get better offers. You're gonna get higher demand out of it because these weapons just really go together. It's a set. So you'll get more out of it than you would trading these individually. So that happens in most events, and in this situation, the Harvester is tradable, but the Reaver isn't, and that's just kind of awkward, because now you're basically ruining a set. You can trade the gun in the set, but not the knife, so the set is kind of ruined. It's impossible to really have a set with the Harvester. I mean, the Candle Flame doesn't really go that well with the Harvester. You know, they're both good, not gonna lie, but, you know, obviously the Reaver Scythe looks way better with the Harvester than the Candle Flame does. So yeah, the set's just kind of ruined. There's not much you can do about it. And if it was tradable, then this wouldn't be an issue. So yeah, overall, my opinion on this evolution concept, I'd say overall, this gets a thumbs up from me. I like this concept. It's really cool. It's really unique, and it is fun to grind a knife to make it like a better knife. However, in the future, I don't think the evolution knife should go as a set. I think it would have been a lot better if the box golly went with the set, and then, you know, the evolution was just its own thing. Because while it is cool that the evolution goes with the set, it also just kind of ruins the set because it's not tradable. And I hope Nicholas does put in some effort to find a way to make the evolution tradable. I do realize it's probably easier said than done because, you know, there's an XP tracking system with it. So, you know, it's probably way easier said than done to do that. I get that. However, for the Christmas event, I think it would be really cool if there was an evolution knife and a shop golly. If you guys remember, in 2020, we actually had 2 shop gollies for the Christmas event. So this time around, as opposed to 2 shop gollies, I would like 1 shop golly and an evolution knife. I think that would be really nice. You would get the best of both worlds in that department. And then from there, you could kind of decide, you know, do you want to get the evolution knife or do you want to get the shop golly with actual value to it? And then as long as the evolution doesn't awkwardly go with the Battle Pass Ancient, then I'm all for it. I really like that concept otherwise. I think this concept needs a bit of work, but overall, it gets a big thumbs up from me. I think it's really unique, and I'm glad that Nicholas tried to be really original with this event to try something new. I think that is really good, and we'll just have to see what the Christmas event has to offer, because Nicholas is probably going to learn from this Halloween event, and then he's going to make a Christmas event that is even better. So yeah, guys, that is going to be it for this video, and that actually concludes the Halloween event. We have finished the entire Halloween event for Murder Mystery 2. It has been really, really fun, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the videos that have come out of it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all those other things that YouTube people do, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay purple.